What up? Hello? What's happening? Dismiss. Gotta get this stuff pulled up here. What's going on, everybody? Happy. What is today? Today's Friday. Oh, that's why we're doing the Friday Focus. We're here. We're live. What's up? So, how y'all doing today? My name is Coach Justin. I am super pumped to be with you, getting all the stuff set up on the interwebs. Make sure we got everything set up. Oh, look at this. We got a new setup in Facebook. Oh, what's going on? So, we are getting fired up here today. I hope you're having an amazing Friday. Things are off to a good start here. It's a beautiful day. Oh, big stuff. Big stuff. You know, we got homecoming tonight. I have a kid that has homecoming tonight. Can you believe that? Crazy freshman in high school. So anyway, Gretchen, what's up, Gretchen? Hope you're having an awesome day. I actually just sent Gretchen a package filled with some samples of some stuff. So I'm doing really good, Gretchen. I appreciate it. I'm doing great. So we are getting fired up today for the Friday Focus. So here's the deal. The Friday Focus. This is the show where we combine passion, purpose, and clear, simple solutions to help you create massive success and achieve your highest potential. That's what we're doing here today, and I want to help you with that. So today's a tremendously important show, something I'm super excited about. Maybe the most important one ever. But we're going to talk specifically about how to start setting your goals to help you move towards the things that you want, to build the habits in your life, to actually help you progress towards the things that you need and to the things that you want. So first things we're going to do, I'm going to give a shout out because super excited. We've been talking about our supplements, and we are super pumped about them. We love them. They're amazing. What we're going to do is every week I'm giving away an opportunity for someone to win some supplements. So here's what you have to do. Like, we do this show for free, and our goal is just to provide value and content. So if it's something that brings you value, we would love that you would share it with someone that it would help. So if you share our video, share this video right here, I'm going to put you in a drawing for a tub of our whey protein right there, the chocolate dream or the vanilla cream. Delicious. Our winner last week was Amy Blocker. Amy won. She chose the vanilla, so super grateful for Amy. All of her kids have come, Kaylee, Mason, Aiden, so super excited for them, so we appreciate that. Thank you so much for sharing our video and just putting the message out there because we super appreciate that. So that's it. So share the video. Boom, get an opportunity to win some supplements. Boom, there you go. That's number one. What's great about our products is that they are naturally just delicious. They're amazing, but they also are sweetened with stevia, and so they don't have a bunch of junk in it, right? So they're really great. Good lean protein to help you build lean muscle and also to burn fat, build your metabolism, all that kind of stuff. It's really great. We also have branched chain amino acids, energy, super great. So Gretchen says, I can't wait for my delivery of the whey protein. It's so good. I know you love that. So thanks for your support, Gretchen. It's so good. So today, here's what we're doing. We're going to talk about setting a clear path. Look, let me ask you a question. Have you ever found yourself in a scenario that you don't like? Maybe you're in a job that you hate. Maybe you're overweight. Or maybe you're there in a relationship that you're unhappy with. The truth for you and for me is that when we find ourselves in that position, we ended up there because of the choices and the actions that we took. That's it. Good, bad, or indifferent, we are where we are because of what we have done, what we have decided to do, and the actions we've taken. Look, I know this firsthand. Most of you know this story. You've heard this, but after college, I found myself in a scenario where I had kind of, dropped out of doing fitnessy stuff, wasn't working out, was trying to pursue, career and build a business, build my job, and just get better at what I was doing. But unfortunately, that put me in a scenario where I wasn't very happy with myself physically. And this continued for a little bit until you kind of sit down and you get into a moment where you step on a scale at your in-laws' farm and you're like, realize that you weigh 296 pounds. And in a moment, you have all these scenarios flash through your head where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm exactly where I do not want to be. I don't feel good about myself. I don't feel good in the clothes that I have because they're too tight and they don't fit well. I don't feel comfortable sitting in a chair because I just feel disgusting, right? That's where I was. I was at a point that I wasn't happy about. And then I projected into the future and I thought, I've got a 6-month-old son and this is exactly what he's going to see me as. And I don't want to have that happen. So I had to start taking steps toward success. And I could diagram that for you a little bit later and we'll walk through that. But the bottom line is, most of us end up at some point in a position that we don't love. And you look down and you go, how did I get here? Well, quite frankly, you're responsible for your results and I'm responsible for mine. It's nobody else's fault but ours. But first we have to realize that the habits that we have in our life is what is leading us to ultimately where we are. Now, the old saying is first we make our habits and then our habits make us. Truly, the reason why we end up in the places that we don't love is because of our habits. Our first error is we often don't set a clear destination. We don't set an endpoint. We don't know where we're going to go. If you're trying to eat pretty clean, but your family isn't on board, how do you fix better dinner with less processed foods? Ooh, Gretchen, that's a tough one. All right, so Gretchen asked, so if you're trying to eat clean, but your family isn't on board with the process to help you fix better dinners with less processed food, this is tough. So I will tell you this. I know that my wife, Teresa, is amazing. She takes care of all of our food. She helps prep dinner. Every week she sets up the dinner schedule for the week, and she maps it out. And she does that in a couple different ways. She'll just sit down and like plan out some food and like some old standbys that we have. Or, you know, right now we're kind of on a kick where she's done some HelloFresh meals and things like that. Because she can sit down, she can talk to the boys and be like, hey, are these things you would eat? What would we do here? Would you like this? Would you like that? And we go through it. We have one very particular eater, and often that can be difficult. But for him, like we try to figure out how do we, you know, cook protein, and then how do you that we're cooking with she's cooking with the rest of the meals, and then we add in some vegetables on top of that. The other choice is how do we start to just create things and go like, hey, here's the opportunity. This is what you need to eat. It's not easy. It's going to take time, right? We didn't always eat this healthy in our family, but that's what we're trying to do now. So it's a process over time, Gretchen. That's what I would say. And you start to partner with them to figure out how they will eat what you're going to prepare. When we think about building a destination, you know how important it is to build a destination for where you're going. And it's quite simply starts with this. Take a road trip. You get in a car and you start driving. Could be by yourself, could be with other people. You could be trying to go, you know, to a soccer game, or you could be, you know, going on a vacation, whatever it is. But think about it. If you get in the car and you start driving, and then you're like, well, I know this place is over here, or I'm trying to drive around, you know, you can find yourself very frustrated very quickly. I know I would find myself very frustrated. Driving in circles doesn't make for a fun day. But we find ourselves in the same scenario in life because we end up just jumping in the car and taking off and doing life rather than planning and thinking about where we want to go and what we want to have happen. The problem for us is we just start going. And when you start going, then you feel like I don't have time to stop. I can't get off here. I can't go on vacation. I can't slow down. I can't take a day off without, you know, feeling like, well, now I got to go in and make up that time at some other point. You can't just sit and dream. And I know some of you are sitting there going like, yeah, some of this sounds great, but I can't just do all this stuff, Justin. Well, the question is what is the priority in your life? What do you ultimately want to have happen? Are you okay with sitting there and go, you know what, I'm okay with being frustrated and being with where I am? Or do you want something to change? Because what I know is it's easy to get down and depressed, sad, just put your head down and keep moving forward when you're not in the place that you want to be, because that's just what you know, and you just continue to move forward. But without taking time to actually sit down, plan, think about where you want to go, you're not going to change your direction. You're just not. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you took a pause? When was the last time you thought about what you actually wanted your life to look like? Has it been a while? When was the last time you sat down without your kids, without your job, without your cell phone, without anything, and just thought about where you're at, what you want to achieve, and what you would like your life to look like? It's time to think and dream and process a little bit. And I know this is not easy. But let me ask you this. I got a couple questions that I want to go through for you. Number one, what do you want? Really? What do you want? Really? You see, there are so many things in this world that we can go after, right? There are so many things in this world that we can go after. And there are a lot of good things, and there are a lot of things that are good that compete for our time. But ultimately, you have to be able to answer this question. Seriously, what do you want out of life? Is it money? Is it time? Is it energy? Is it the ability to do things physically? What do you really want? Get clear on that first. Because the one principle that we fail to recognize all the time is when you say yes to one thing, you say no to something else. So know exactly what it is that you want. If you want to be physically in shape, if you want to be healthy, then ultimately you have to make some choices that are going to make you say no to something else. Right? If you want to look a certain way and have a physique a certain way, then you have to be able to say, you know what, I'm not going to eat that junk. I'm going to plan out my food. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to actually be prepared with what I'm going to eat. That's just something you have to do. If you want a new job, if you want a new career or open your own business, then that means you're going to have to sacrifice something. I know for me, I sacrificed a pretty good job with a company car and benefits and health insurance and all that kind of stuff. And I remember sitting in a parking lot on my birthday, calling in to the company saying, hey, I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice. And then it was like, as freeing as that moment was, it was also terrifying because I was leaving everything that was comfortable. Now, that may not be your story, but if you think about, I want a new career, a new opportunity, I want to be able to be home more, maybe that means you need to give up on some things. We can't do everything, and we can't be all things to all people. And that's hard for us because we're people pleasers. A lot of the time, we don't want to say no because we either want to please people or we're afraid of what they would say about us or think about us if we actually said no. I know it. I have a hard time saying no. So it's a challenge because I want to take on everything. But what I have to also remember is every time I say yes to something, every time I say yes to training another client and helping an athlete in a time or helping another adult client, every time I say yes to that, if I'm not careful, I start to say no to my family. And that's a huge struggle for me. And I continue to work on that all the time. We know that there are consequences for our attitudes and our actions, good and bad, whatever it is. So just know where you are is a product of what you have done and the habits you have established. And know that if you start to figure out what you want really, you can start to move in the direction of the new goals. See, when you think about it, what I want you to do is step back and go, what are the things that actually make you come alive? What gets you excited? What wakes you up in the morning? What are you doing when you're having the most fun and smiling and joy-filled and that? Think about those types of things, and then you can start to formulate your plan. How did you, when was it the last time that you felt best about where you were physically? Or what did it look like when you were most happy in your job or with your finances or with whatever it is. Think about those things. And then you can start to think about what direction and what goal you want to go down. Gretchen said she did this morning in her workout, asking these questions and thinking through it. I want to live a good life so I can help others get healthy. It's great. It's great because it's so important. Especially now, understanding where we're at and being healthy is super important. It does make your life better when you learn to say no instead of yes all the time. Yeah, right, Gretchen? It's hard to say no sometimes, but when you learn that habit and you learn that pattern, it can make a huge difference. So, here's the goal. Is I want you to think about the areas of your life that are most important. And when you think about those areas, start to think about what you want to have happen. And if you know what you want and where you want to go, then here's the truth. You need to start running after those things. You need to go after what's most important. If you know exactly where you're at, some of you are sitting in this spot and you're like, I know exactly what I need to do. I need to leave the job. I need to eat this thing. I need to stop doing whatever it is. You know exactly what you need to do. And if you know exactly what that is, you need to put that picture on in front of you and keep it locked in. And then you need to start running towards it. Now, some of you, when you think about a destination, you're unclear. Maybe you're an adult. We have a lot of adults. It's like, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to achieve physically? Obviously, we talk a lot about fitness because that's what we do, and it's easy to go to, and people can relate to that. But when you start to think about where you want to go, and you're like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm an adult, so what should I want to be like? I want to be healthy, and I want my blood lab work to be good, and I want to reduce the risk of getting cancer or heart disease, and I want to be able to move well with my kids, things like that. Like, the point is like some of that is not completely clear. But what you can do is start to piece it together. If you don't know exactly where you want to go, what you need to then start doing is start setting up some of the behaviors that will help you to get to where you're going. I look at this and I think back to like how you start working out. You may not have the perfect workout plan. You may not have the perfect diet. You may not have any of that. But what you do know is you should move some and you should eat better than where you're currently at. And if you do that, you're going to start progressing towards your goals. And if you start progressing towards your goals and you start finding things that you're passionate about or things that you love, maybe you find some foods that you love that are healthier that you can start to move away from all the other stuff. Or maybe you find a form of fitness that you're like, this is really for me. I love it. And I'm going to continue to push into it. And then you start to set bigger goals. So you can do that. You can start moving in the direction without having all the answers in front of you. But as you start moving, as you start developing habits and start establishing patterns in your life, as you start to do that, the destination will become clear. And then you can lock into that. We often just stay stagnant because we'll say things like, I'll ask people all the time, what's your purpose? What's your passion? What's your why? What do you whatever. And people will be like, I don't really know. I don't know. And when you don't know, sometimes you just kind of sit there and say, well, I guess I don't have a passion and a purpose. I guess my life, whatever. I don't know where I'm going to go. And I think we were all created for a purpose, for a mission to accomplish. And sometimes we don't know what that is. But we need to start moving towards positivities, towards things that are going to help us get better and the things that can help other people to get better as well. There we are. So, here's what I want you to think. You are responsible for what happens to you, good and bad. You're responsible. What you also need to know is your past is important. Your past is important. It matters. You are responsible for it. You're responsible for where you're at. But it has nothing to do with what happens next. Zero. Just because something happened in the past is not predictive of what will happen in the future. Yeah, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. That's right, Gretchen. I got it. You got it. Nailed it. If it's meant to be, it's up to me, right? That's the deal. You have a choice. You can start to make a new choice today, every single day. You hear me say this often. I say it probably every single week on this thing. But what you need to know is that Romans 12:2 says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. The renewing of your mind. I just continue to think through like some of the things that I've been studying, and it goes not only with what we're doing physically, but just through what I've been reading in Scripture. And there's a scripture in Colossians that says, you should do everything as it, everybody runs the race, but only one wins the prize. You should run in such a way as to win the prize. We should run our lives in such a way that we are trying to do our very best to become who we were created to be and to be able to make an impact in our world. I want you to know something. Your life matters. So understanding where you want to go, understanding what you need to accomplish, understanding what a clear destination for your life. It's not just about like, oh, I want to achieve my goals and I want to look good and healthy and whatever. It actually means that you can be better in your relationships. It means that you can impact your kids or your friends or your family. It can impact your people at work. It means more than you will know. But if you don't know where you're going, you'll never get there. You're going to end up frustrated in the car of life going, well, I don't know, I guess we'll just circle it again. And you keep doing the same things that will leave you sad and frustrated, potentially depressed. And I don't want that for your life. So today, I want you to find the time and space to figure out what you want to achieve in life. What really matters to you. Really. What do you really, truly want? And when you figure that out, you're going to start to set up patterns and habits for your life that will help to lead you to that destination. We're going to talk about that next week. How to set up and establish patterns and habits and be very specific on that. Because I want you to ultimately become who you were created to be to your fullest potential. That's the deal. So, here's my question, or here's my ask. If you found value in this, I would love it if you would share this on your Facebook, share it with a friend, and just help continue to make an impact. Ben Newman's my dude. Actually, Matt, this is great. I don't know if you know this, but I'm in a coaching program with Ben Newman, and he's had a huge impact over me the last month or so, and just been really good. But you're right. Champions Create Distance on Friday. You can find time and space. You know, in those times and spaces where it's like, you know what, it'd be easier. You know, I find a lot of time for me on Saturday morning when kind of everybody sleeps in a little bit. The kids don't have to get up for school. You know, I don't have to work. If I do, it's not till later. And just find that time and space to like build into me and figure out where I want to go and what I want to accomplish. Because that clarity for me allows me to be more present, at home. It allows me to be more present with my kids. It allows me to be more present at work because when I'm here, when I'm there, I'm there. And that's the goal. I'm not perfect at it, but that's the goal, is to try to get there. So, man, Ben Newman, my God, I feel that. Get the burn going. I like it. So anyway, I hope this was helpful for you. If you found value in it, please share this. If you do, I'm going to put you in a drawing for a tub of our whey protein chocolate dream or vanilla cream. You're going to love it. I promise you, you will love it. Hey, if you want a sample of it, send me a message and I will send one to you. So thank you so much for jumping in on this Friday Focus, learning about our destination. Thanks so much. If y'all have questions, comment down below. I appreciate you. And don't forget, as always, to be great today. See ya. See ya.